What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Y'all know I gotta do it like this before I get started. You know I gotta do it like this before I get started. I can't do this anymore. Left my past all on the floor. I've been trying to keep it moving. Now we going north, going up 2, 3, up 2, 3. Got this joy inside of me because I can't do this anymore. Left my past all on the floor. I've been trying to keep it moving. Now we going north, going up 2, 3, up 2. Remember, this music is by Taking Back September. My son and his group, international teenagers in Switzerland, US, everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this started. So I just thought I'd pop on here real quick. For the first time viewers, thank you for welcoming to the RealRam fam. So tonight I just had a few thoughts, some stuff that had crossed my mind that I didn't think warranted a whole video with edits and all of that stuff. So I was thinking, y'all know it's a new COVID strain out now, right? From the UK. And you know, last time how did COVID get here? COVID got here because we didn't limit travel from other countries. A specific country was on our president's mind, which wasn't necessary, right? So now specific country is where this COVID strain is coming from. I saw on the news that this particular new strain has a higher risk of children catching it. So now, what are we going to do? I haven't heard that there's been any talks about it. Is it because we already got a vaccine in the works or what? Why is this still not on our radar? I think that's something that's worth talking about because during this first strain, people were not taking it serious and they weren't thinking about it because it was a thing that children couldn't catch it. So if they're already starting off and saying that it's possible that children can catch this one, is a higher risk of children catching this one, what are we going to do about that? Also, I was on a shuttle today, and this is a shuttle that takes us from base into the city. And so for anyone who's new to me, I live in Washington, D.C. So this just made me think more. Every time I get on this shuttle, I'm thinking about this. Those of you who are from the city, Washington, D.C., or just any big major city, what is up with y'all's driving? Like, I just don't get it. I'll be sitting on the shuttle and I'm like, what is going on with this driver? Like, do I just sit here and just chill, don't think about it? Is this something I should like report or what? Because if you're person like number 8 or 15 in line at the light, why are you honking the horn? I don't get it. So you city drivers out there, can y'all explain that to me? The light is red, so you're not going anywhere. So do you think that you're helping out traffic if you honk the horn and then all the people in front of you are going to start moving faster? Like, I just don't get it. Particularly if you're driving other people, if you're the bus driver. I'm sitting there and you're raising my anxiety up. You know, most of the time, well, not most of the time, sometimes we're riding the bus or the taxi or whatever so that we can relax from work or school or whatever. It isn't always because, you know, people don't have transportation. So I'm not a city girl. I don't know what we consider where I'm from. Maybe I'm from a town. I don't know what you call my area. I'm not from the country. No matter what my husband likes to call me, I'm not from the country. What I don't explain that to me. And in addition to that, I know each state does their own thing, but I believe that in all rules of the road, you shouldn't block the intersection because you never know what's going to happen from the sides of you. Why do people block the intersections? I'm just not, and especially big vehicles, when you're the big trucks, when you're the bus, why are you rushing out there to get to the light, honking at people, and then you're blocking the intersection?
I don't get it. I don't even get it. Then another thought that crossed my mind. I'm wondering with this virtual schooling. So I popped in on a radio show, and this was like the one thing that they were talking about is behaviors, right? So now I'm wondering for any school teachers out there, school social workers out there, the principals out there, are children still misbehaving while we're doing virtual learning? Those same students that y'all used to have, that used to do things, whether it was for attention or whatever, are those same students still like in class cussing y'all out, doing all this other stuff, and you just lucky I even came to class? Like how are they behaving nowadays? Now that they still have an audience, but it's not the same. I'm really wondering about that. Not that there's anything I can do about it, but it was just something I thought about because we all have to get used to the new way of things being done. And for teachers, counselors, social workers, how is that being done? And you can't mandate that students turn on their cameras so that you can see them. So those same children, what are they doing now? It's just I'm just curious. Then lastly, anyone out there, everyone out there, are you all embracing the Zoom gatherings or Facebook Messenger, house party app, or whatever, all types of virtual gatherings? Are you all embracing those? Because I don't think that we're going to get back to in person gatherings anytime soon. And I was listening to Brene Brown's podcast, and she had the author of this book. Let me see if I can find it real quick. This author of this book called um, "Why We Gather," but there's a bigger title to it. But either way, she was explaining what is the difference between a gathering and a group. And it's three or more people makes a gathering. But when you do gather, you have to think about what's your purpose. And so, what is the purpose of gatherings? And even today, right? Like I said, are you embracing these virtual gatherings? People are still having weddings, they're still having funerals, we still have school and all these things. Are you still looking at things to be the way that they used to be? The purpose of, let's just take Thanksgiving since it just passed. What is the purpose of that to some of you? Is the purpose to be with family, to speak with family, to reunite with family, or is it simply just about the meal? Is it a mixture of the meal and being with your family? Because if it is, if you are still with your family virtually at a distance, right? Why is that any different? Does it devalue if that's your purpose? I don't think really we should look at it like that, right? We should just look at the purpose and embrace these virtual gatherings. I know that, we all need physical touch. We need that. But right now, as has been said many times, I'm sure there's many of you out here who have heard that we would rather gather virtually and still see our loved ones than to have to gather for funerals, right? So until we can get back to where we were, however that is, slowly at a time, I think we should be embracing virtual gatherings. Um, yeah, so for tonight, those was pretty much small little thoughts that I had. Not too much. I'm gonna try to drop some videos more often throughout this winter break while my children are and your children are on winter break. So please be on the lookout for more videos. I'm looking for some panelists for lots of different subjects that I'm going to talk about. I would love to have some personal trainers, some financial advisors, some real estate agents, social workers, therapists, doctors, all these, every year, every New Year's, right? We all have New Year's resolutions. So let's start the year off right and have some of those professionals on to give us some advice. How does that look in the COVID world, in these COVID times? How do you keep a New Year's resolution of working out? How do you keep a New Year's resolution of eating right? How do we stay mentally motivated and get that sunlight, right? The winter, the dark hours is the most depressing time of the year. And in addition to that, we've got deaths that we cannot properly grieve. We can't even, physically attend funerals. So let's start the year off with some guest panelists, and I'm looking for you. If you're one of those professionals, I would love to have you. Um, what else? I'm also at 92 subscribers. If y'all can help me get to 100, I would be so grateful. I gotta come up with something. Either I can find someone to help give you a discount or some giveaways. Maybe you can be a guest, or you can send me your ideas and let me know what you would like for me to talk about. So please help me get to 100 subscribers. I think that pretty much is all that I have for today. Look out Monday. What's Monday? Monday the 28th. I do have a financial planner who is going to be on with me. We are going to do it live. And hopefully tomorrow I have something in store for you all to help y'all get ready for Christmas. So that's it. Y'all know I got to close it out the same way that I opened it.
Came in with the sauce, yeah. Learned out from the boss, yeah. I've been learning lessons from the struggles and the losses. Praying for communion for the races since we lost it. I done had enough of it for all the pain and us anymore. Left my past all on the floor. I've been trying to keep it moving. Now we going north, going up 2, 3, up 2, 3. Got this joy inside of me because I got can't do this anymore.
Taking back September.
I've been trying to keep it moving, now we going north.
Look them up. They're on YouTube, SoundCloud.
Got this joy inside of me because I got the key.